Hey there, everyone. Welcome back for another update. It is Tuesday, March 31st. And as I said yesterday, I hope you reached out to your doctors and the healthcare workers in your life, not just the ones your primary care, but those doctors and those people who are in healthcare that you personally know. It was Doctors Day yesterday, so I hope you reached out and you thank them for what they're currently doing, especially what they're doing right now. But what our colleagues and the rest of the healthcare professionals really do day in and day out, which is put themselves at risk, put themselves out there in front of in harm's way to protect you and your family. So as you're seeing from this outbreak, you're seeing that doctors are the ones holding the fort, nurses and nursing staff and the rest of the healthcare professionals, healthcare workers who are there at the hospitals and the front lines. They're the ones who are really holding down the fort. And you see the admin people and the CEOs and the insurance company CEOs. They are, I've saw a lot of articles. They're down in their mansions in Florida, and they're the ones who are getting paid millions of dollars a year. And it's doctors who are getting the pay cut, and they're still risking their life and their well-being and the well-being of their families to be out in the forefront of this pandemic. So keep that in mind, and hopefully you reached out and you thanked them. Now, yesterday I shared also a couple of recommendations for you who has been indoors or at home or quarantined for week and a half now, and you're probably running out of groceries and you're probably running out of certain supplies, and it's about time that you need to go out to do a supermarket run and restock. So I gave people a couple of recommendations, things to keep in mind when you're going out, and a lot of you reached back out to me, mostly on LinkedIn, and sent me messages and said, oh, you know what, I hadn't thought about that. I'm actually due to go outside. What would you recommend for this? What would you recommend for that? And can you share a little bit more about what you're doing? So funny thing is, this morning we realized that we were running low on a couple of things. So I decided to go out and restock. And this is what I did on my way back inside. So I wanted to show you exactly how I do it. And it's a very simple setup. And again, this is what I do. It might be an exaggeration. I might be overreacting. But, like the head of the World Health Organization said, you cannot be too careful. I rather spend a couple of extra minutes and a couple of extra supplies and alcohol and things like that than feel safe than to be risking it. There's a lot we still don't know about this virus. So if I'm bringing things from the outside in, this is what I'm currently doing. So I filmed that for you, and it's in two short videos. So let me know what you think. Okay, so like I was saying, this is me just coming back from the grocery store. So we just went up and restocked on a couple of things. And this is my little alcohol spray bottle. That's all you need. So we switched, as you can see, we changed some of the products so that we can buy everything that we bought is now packaged somehow. So what I do when I come in is I'll just literally I'll spray everything, and you spray this and you let it sit for about 5 minutes, and that's pretty much it. Then the alcohol evaporates and you're good to go. What I do with these, for instance, these is canned salmon. So what we do with that is I take everything out of the can, out of the box, the cardboard, and just the cans, I put them in a hot water bath in our sink. Same thing with these tomato sauces, these bottles that are hermetically sealed. All of that I put in there so that we're also not using up alcohol. You don't need to. But everything else, like our these Tetra Packs, they can be sprayed. These things, so for instance, this is not normally the meat that we buy, but now we're buying it, and it's all hermetic sealed and plastic wrapped. So we do that. All of these things, they can all be sprayed, and you only need to spray them for about, you spray them and just a single spray, some mist on it, and you let it dry, and that's pretty much all you need to do. So you will be changing a little bit on what you're shopping and how you're shopping. But yeah, this is the way that we are doing it. It takes a little bit longer. Once you do all of that, you obviously take off your gloves, not touch your face. And what I do is I take off my clothes, put them in the washer. That's why we do all of these here in our washing room, and go straight into the shower. Again, for instance, this is what you would do. You just literally grab one of these and you just single spray. I've only got one hand now. Do the one side, do the other. If that's all you need to do, you just put it over here to the side while it dries up, and you grab the next one and you do the same thing. Obviously a lot faster if you don't have to be holding your phone. And that's it. So you just let it dry, and that's more than enough. Oh, and that is one of the Trader Joe's bags that I told you about. I know that many of you probably have different kinds, and the great thing about those ones is that you just throw them back into the washing machine. These kind of things, make sure that you spray them outside before you bring them in. Like, for instance, we keep our baby's diapers, we keep those in this room. So before we put them in the room, the diapers inside, obviously you don't have to do anything about them. But the bag that is outside, we do spray all of that. So just keep that in mind. There we go. Okay, so we are back now, and just to elaborate a little bit on what you saw on that video, as I said earlier. A couple of the things that we need to keep in mind is that you don't need to soak these things in alcohol. Just a couple of sprays is more than enough. Just wait for it to evaporate, and it shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes. The other thing is, as I came inside, I was the only one doing this. My wife is currently pregnant, and we've got a toddler that you obviously don't want anywhere near these things. If you want to have somebody help you, make sure that they put on some gloves and whatnot so that they can do that. But if you can just do it on your own, then it's just as good, right? So keep that in mind. It just takes a couple of sprays, and you put things on the side, and then you wait for those to dry out before you start putting everything away. Now, fresh produce. Remember that another thing that you're going to be changing in the next couple of weeks is that fresh produce and things like that, don't buy a lot because it's not going to last as much, because you need to wash it as soon as you come in. So I came in and I put all my produce and everything on the sink, and you start running some warm water. Don't make it like scalding hot, but make warm water and disinfect them, wash them. So for instance, potatoes, anything with skin, you can actually just do regular soap and water. Make sure you dry them. Bananas, I separated them. Make sure that they don't open, and then you can just wash them outside, and you just put them on the side and let them dry. So keep that in mind. Just another thing to remember is that if you are washing them, then they're not going to last as long. So don't buy super big amounts of them. You're better off just buying whatever you're going to need for the next couple of days and washing them. So that's pretty much it. That's what I do. So if you want to follow those recommendations, if you got some different tips, feel free to share them. And stay safe, everyone, and I'll see you here tomorrow.